The following content is brought to you with funding from the Universal Service Fund, USF, via its local digital content development initiative. Enjoy the show.
What's up, beautiful people? How are you doing? Welcome back to Money Talk with Prue. Hi, I'm Prue. On this channel, we talk about all things finance. That's in relation to personal finance and small business management. So if you want to be financially literate and learn how to manage your small business effectively, you're in the right place. I'm very excited about today's topic, which is focusing on the stock market and specifically the Malawi stock market. And here to help us navigate through this topic is Kondwani Makwakwa from Stockbrokers Malawi Limited. Kondwani, welcome.
Thank you.
I am so happy and I am grateful that you have come here at Money Talk with Prue. I'm honored because I know you are a very busy person, so taking some time to come here, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the stock market, there have been a lot of talks, especially because we were getting these little messages from Blanda hotels or something.
Oh, yeah.
So people are very interested to learn about what this stock market is all about.
Yeah.
So let me just learn a bit, let our viewers know a little bit about you. How long have you been with Stockbrokers Malawi Limited and what's your role there?
Yeah, thank you very much. I've been with Stockbrokers Malawi Limited for a number of years now. I joined in 2008. Okay. So I think around more than 15 years, I should say that.
That's a long time.
Currently, I'm working as a senior equity research analyst.
Okay. All right. And what exactly do you do?
Yeah, so part of my role, of course, I have a number of roles, but part of my role is to give advice to people who want to invest on the stock market. Okay. So as an analyst, you help people in making financial decisions. If today you are given financial statements, let's say for National Bank or NBS, for a person who didn't know what those financial statements are all about. So we need to make the financial statements talk. Yes. Yeah, so that's part of it, but also risk management. Okay. Yeah, so I think in summary, I would say that. Okay. So yeah, to help people make investment decision so that they can make informed investments decision on the stock market or whether it's in the money market. Okay. Yeah. All
right. So the stock market, what is it here in Malawi and how is it regulated?
So to start with the word stock market, as the word suggests, it's a market. Yeah. So we can relate it with any other market we can think of to say that it's a market. Maybe the only difference is a stock market is a market which deals with securities, which deals with shares. So it's a market for buying and selling shares. Okay. So you see that at the stock market, there will be people looking to buy shares. There will be people looking to sell shares. Okay. In terms of regulation, the market is well regulated. We have got regulators. We have got, for example, the Malawi Stock Exchange, which acts as a frontline regulator. Okay. But we have also the Reserve Bank, the central bank, which help in enforcing various regulations. You see that all this regulation, they help to make sure that investors don't lose their money.
Okay. So they act like the police of the stock market. When they are regulated, what exactly are they regulating?
We would say that they make sure that the bloggers, they are following the regulation. So the market is highly regulated. We follow rules and regulation. So there's need for someone just to check that yes, you are following the rules.
You're doing the right things.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So currently what companies are listed on the Malawi Stock Exchange?
So currently we have got 16 companies. 16, okay. I think where our market is too small comparing to other markets elsewhere. We have companies in the banking sector, like the major banks in Malawi. So you talk of Standard Bank, you talk of National Bank, NBS, the FTH, yes. So you see that those ones But even in the telecommunication industry, we have got Airtel and TNM.
Okay.
Also property, we have got Icon, People.
Okay.
Yeah, so just to mention a few, but there are others, PCL, Nico, NITL, tourism, we have got Sunbed Hotels and Blanta Hotels. So in total we have got 16 companies, and Old News, of course, 16 companies.
Okay. So in layman's terms, what is a share or what is a stock? Are those two words different, or do they mean the same thing?
Yeah, so if we take the word share, maybe if we can look in an ordinary dictionary to say what is the definition of a share, you see that a share is part of something. It means you have got something as a whole. So a share is part of that whole thing. So we can borrow that same definition to apply to shares on the stock exchange to say that a share represents part ownership in a company. So in other words, if you buy a share, you are buying ownership in a company. You become a part owner of that company. When we are talking of issues of entrepreneurship, we say that not all can afford a capital to start a business, like a bank, like a telecommunication company. But with share, we are saying that if you buy a share of National Bank, you are buying a bank that is already there. If you buy shares of telecommunication, let's say TNM, you're buying TNM. TNM will be yours. That's the legality of it. You become a legal owner of that company.
Okay. So share or stock, same thing?
Yes. So either we use share, we use stock, we use equity. We mean one.
The same thing. Okay. So how does one go about buying buying ownership?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. To start is not a complicated thing. Okay. It's as simple. So first of all, you need to open an account with a broker. And when opening an account, there are basic things that are requested. Okay. For example, identification. You need an ID.
All right.
Like national ID. With the coming of national ID, I think it solved a lot of problems we used to have in the past. And then we need a proof of residence in form of utility bill. Okay. And finally, a proof of income. For example, someone who is working, a pay slip. Okay. And for someone who is doing business, a bank statement. So, you need to open an account with a broker. We should mention here, emphasize that this is different from a bank account.
Okay, how so?
This is purely for trading in shares. So they are different. Okay. And there's no opening fee. There's no book balance. It's purely for buying and selling shares.
Okay.
And there's no monthly charge either.
Oh, all right. Okay. So why do I need to open an account with a broker? What is the role of the broker?
Yeah. So you see that we have mentioned 16 companies here that are there on the Malawi Stock Exchange. If, for example, today one wants to buy shares for Press Corporation, you cannot go to Press Corporation and say, I want to buy shares. If you want to buy shares for NBS, you cannot go direct to NBS to say, I want to buy shares. So brokers act as an agent for someone who wants to transact on the Malawi Stock Exchange, either buying or selling. So we act like a middle per se. Our role is to buy and sell shares on behalf of someone.
Why is that? Why can't I just go to NBS?
Yeah, so you see that the market is categorized into two. We have the primary market and the secondary market. So you see that on the primary market, you are allowed to do so because the company is looking to raise funds, raise capital. So those monies are going direct to the company.
When you say primary market?
So primary market is the market whereby the shares are traded for the first time. You see that in the past we also we received at a certain point text when it was coming on the market, buy shares, that was the primary market.
Okay.
Then after that market, after the company has raised its funds, then the shares are listed on the Malawi Stock Exchange.
Okay.
Whereby if you buy shares, the money is not going to the company anymore, but people are exchanging. There's someone selling, so the money will go to that person.
Okay.
And in return, you get the shares. So that's the secondary market. So in the secondary market, you are saying you need to go through brokers. So that is the setup that currently we are using.
Okay. And then in Malawi, like how many brokers do we have?
So in Malawi, we have 3 brokers. Just to mention them, Stockbrokers Malawi Limited, where I work. We have Sida Capital and we also have Continental Capital. So we are 3 brokers.
Okay. Is that enough for our country?
Yeah, I think, but looking at, we have talked about a few listed companies.
Yeah, 16, yes.
Yeah, so to me, I think in my opinion, those are enough, yes.
Okay. So one has opened the account. How much money am I supposed to have to now start trading or buying shares?
Yeah, so to buy shares, the minimum one is required to buy at any given point of time is just 1 share.
Okay.
So that one would depend with the price.
Okay.
For example, let's give an example of TNM share price. As we yesterday was trading around 19 watts.
Okay.
So it means with 19 watts, you can own a company. That's what we are saying. Remember, we are saying buying shares will become part owner.
Part owner.
Yes, and we take, for example, National Bank shares is trading around 6,000.
Yes.
In 6,000, you can own a bank. You can own National Bank. You can be part of one of that
so
bank.
I can come to you, open an account, and just say, this is 6,000 what I have. I want 1 share.
Yes, I want to buy. Yes, but then I think it will not sometimes make economic sense to you.
Yes.
Imagine boarding a minibus from here, going to town, spending money just to buy 1 share. But anyway, what we are emphasizing is it's not for stock market. It's not for someone who has got huge sums of money.
Yes.
Even as little as 1 share, you can join stock market and own a company, be part owner of that company. Because
that's what's out there. Like that's what people tell.
Yeah, that's the perception.
We need a lot of money to now start buying shares.
Actually, when I meet people and you tell them about this, they get surprised just to say, but are you serious? Let me try.
Yeah.
So but that's the reality.
1 share.
That's
the minimum.
Yes.
Okay. And can anyone come and open an account, or apart from the ID, proof of residence, is there anything else that you look for somebody to open an account with?
Yeah, anyone can open an account.
Okay.
For example, individual, if you have got a child, you can also open an account for that child.
Okay.
What will be required on top of what we have discussed is just a birth certificate. But even a company can also buy shares. Okay. You see that the requirements are a bit different. You need, for example, certificate of incorporation.
All right.
Memorandum of association, the bank statement.
Okay.
IDs for signatories. Yeah, those are some of the requirements. But even if you are operating a business as a sole trader, you have registered a business entity, you just need that registration certificate.
Okay.
So in short, you see that even a company, an individual, a child, anyone can,
Sounds pretty easy.
Yeah, very true.
Okay. So apart from an owner of a company, what other benefits are there from buying shares?
Good, So we are saying, yes, I bought shares in National Bank, I'm part owner. Then what is there for me?
Yeah,
that's a good one, because when you're investing in something, you really want to get something. You want a return at the end of the day. So when you buy shares in a company, there are advantages.
Okay.
As a part owner of that company, you get what we call a share of profit. So share of profit has got a name, and we call it dividend. So when we hear the word dividend, basically we are just trying to say a share of profit. The company has made profit, here's your dividend.
Okay.
When the directors declare one. But perhaps the biggest advantage of investing in the stock market is what we call the capital gain, the potential for capital gains. Here we are looking at the price movements. So you see that if we just look at the way the price are as today and the price the way they were maybe last year or in 2021, you see that there's a significant jump.
Yes.
For example, if you look at FD share price in 2021, it was trading around 10 kwacha. If we look now, it's around 200 something. If you look at National Bank, last year, a certain point was trading at 2,100. Here we are talking of around 6,000. So you can see those jumps in share prices. So we are saying that those jumps they translate to your appreciation in terms of your investment. So your investment is also going up because the prices are going up. So perhaps that is the biggest advantage of the stock market. And if we see today that the stock market has made people millionaires, billionaires, it's because of the capital gain element. But other advantages are also available. For example, you can use shares as a collateral if you want to access a loan from the lending institution. Either to buy more shares or indeed to use for other purposes. So basically, we can summarize the advantages of having shares as those.
So the gaining, how often does a share gain? How long am I supposed to wait to now look at my investment and be proud to say, I'm glad I spent that 100,000 in those shares?
So we always say that the stock market is for long term. Whereby long term shall mean more than a year. But we have seen stock prices moving on daily basis, weekly, monthly. We have seen that. But perhaps the question can also be to say, so what makes the share prices to move up and down? So remember, at the start we said the stock market is just like any other market. And you see that if you go to a market and ask, for example, to say what determines the price of tomatoes, you see that of course there might be other factors behind, but basically in simple terms it's demand and supply. So it's the same with shares. The demand and supply will have an effect on share price. But behind those demand and supply, then you have company performance. We have got news about company. Any changes, strategic changes or anything concerning that company. That news can have an impact on the company.
On the share price.
Yes.
Okay. So about diversification, I've heard that word in conjunction with stock markets, that you need to diversify.
Yes.
What does that mean?
I remember an old English proverb which says, do not put all your eggs in one basket. So I want to borrow it and use it to explain here. So the same logic. When you are investing on the stock market, we always advise to say that don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you are investing on the stock market, buy at least 2 or 3 companies. So that if one company doesn't perform, another one maybe will perform. I'll take you back to the times of COVID-19. You recall that the certain sectors, they suffered a lot, especially those in the tourism industry, tourism sector. But other sectors, they were performing well. So that's the power of diversification. So that's what I would say. But a word of advice also there, do not over diversify. Because someone so you are overspreading the money. I just want to have all the 16 companies. Right? No, we are not saying that. But we are saying pick 2 or 3 best companies there you are spreading your risk. And the diversification can be, the good diversification is among different sectors. For example, banking sector, then I have the tourism or insurance, telecommunication. There it means I've diversified well.
Strategically.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And then how does one know which company to buy? Like, let's say the banking sector. There are like 4 or 5 banks there. How do I select which?
Yeah, so you say that, well, we have talked about our role as analysts, as advisors. So we help give people information for them to make also an informed decision. That's the first one. But for someone, there are news about the company. There are financial statements, for example, which someone can look and see how the company is performing. Various news, dividend announcements, trading statements, news about maybe change of CEO, change of key personnel in a company. Yeah, or major acquisition. All those, they can help a person make an informed decision of which company to pick.
So it's me making the decision, or you, the broker, telling me?
So basically, it's an investor making the decision.
So as brokers, you will not tell me which company to invest
in? No,
in?
we do. That's why I said that as a broker, we will assist you with the information that at the moment, these are the companies that are doing well. And that advice needs to be supported. You need to ask why. Why are you saying I should buy this company? Then the broker needs to tell you that, okay, I think you should buy this based on ABCD. It shouldn't be guesswork. It should be supported by fundamentals.
Because I was thinking there are some people who would not find it easy to even put together all those things that you've mentioned, like change of personnel or the trading statements and whatnot.
Yeah, that's very true.
So I think that's why
that's where we are.
Makes perfect sense. Okay. All right. So, and then after I've bought my shares in 3-4 sectors, how do I keep track of all the ownership?
That's a very good question. If you buy shares and just forget about them, you might lose other opportunities. Like, for example, when to sell, or when, adding more, or when to switch, rebalance your portfolio, switch to other counters. So, as brokers, we usually send what we call trading reports, stock market trading reports, which shows price movement. So
you send that to
clients who are subscribed to that.
Fine.
But I've also seen in the local papers, there are also prices. But even if someone goes to Malawi Stock Exchange website, even us brokers like Stockbrokers Malawi have got our website, LinkedIn page. So you can follow what is happening in the market through various platforms that are there, like the one I've mentioned.
But then now I'm looking like at a personal account. Let's say I have bought shares through you as my broker in National Bank, Airtel. How do I keep track of that account?
So
that I have
basically,
10,000 shares
So basically, when you buy shares, we send a statement to you, which you have that, okay, this is the confirmation of the shares I have in these companies. So so with the daily prices, it's a matter of multiplying for example, you've got Airtel shares, you multiply with today's price, then you know how much your portfolio is worth in that count.
Is there also a service where I ask, or I don't know if there's a platform where you log in and say, I just want to check my full statement?
You see that I think our market, since it automated, there are various developments that have been happening. And where we are going, the market is going towards that. At the moment, maybe there's no platform where someone can log in and check the portfolio, the value, but that's where we are going. And soon I think we'll have what we call the mobile app for trading, which will be launched by the market, the Malawi Stock Exchange.
That sounds very clear, very easy, very possible for anyone to do. Okay, so what are some of the common mistakes that new investors make, and how can they be avoided?
Yeah, I would say that the common mistake, I think I've touched on that one, is clinging to a stock. I don't know, maybe I should use the word, maybe you're in love with that stock, just in love with that company. Whether it's not performing, whether it's performing, you don't want to sell it. You just say, no, me.
Hold on to this.
Yes, I think that is a common mistake. You need to be active in the market, look for opportunity, able to switch to say that, no, I think this stock, the way it is performing, if I buy that stock, I'll be able to double my money quickly, based on this information. And number two is being short term. In stock market, you need to be long term.
Okay. Yeah. Or as you said, at least a year.
A year, yes.
Okay. All right. And what are some of the misconceptions? I know we've talked about the investments, the big, like you need to have a lot of money to invest.
I think that's the biggest misconception we have towards the
stock market.
Yes, to say that maybe the stock market is for someone who has got a lot of money. I need to have a lot of money.
Who is well educated.
Yeah, so I think that is the biggest
It's not true.
No, it's not true. You just need one share.
One share and you have started your journey of investing.
Simple as that.
Okay, all right. So if someone could learn just one thing that they should live with on this from this episode about the stock market, what would that be?
Patience.
Okay.
The stock market needs patience. I repeat, the stock market needs patience.
Okay.
You need to have patience when you're investing on the stock market. All right. We have seen stock prices going down.
Yes.
For example, I remember at a certain point in time, somewhere 3 years or so ago, Irovo share price dropped from around 330 kwacha to around 80 kwacha.
Wow.
So you see that that is the risk that is also there on the stock. We have touched on advantages, but that is also a risk that the share price can go down.
Okay.
But with patience, people that were patient enough to wait, you see that over the years the price went up again from 80 kwacha to around 1,300 because of patience. There was a time FMBCH dropped from around 175 kwacha to around 25 kwacha. But now it went up from 25 to around 550 kwacha.
Okay.
So you see that it takes patience. Not that I've bought shares today, then what is my return? No, it has gone up by 1 kwacha or 10 kwacha. Let me sell my shares. No, you lose out.
Okay.
You need to have patience. So patience is what I can advise people out there to have when you are entering the stock market. Have patience. Know that the stock market is for long term.
All right. Oh, thank you so much. I think we have touched on all the questions that most people have about the stock market. And it's very clear to me, and I can believe it's also very clear to our viewers.
Thanks, Prudence.
So, guys, thank you so much. If you've reached the end of this video, thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you have any more questions about the stock market, please drop them in the comment section or send them to the email that's in the description box and we'll get back to you. And I also just want to know how many of you viewers are already investors on the stock market and what benefits you've seen so far. Please share your stories in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, to like and share this episode so that we can all be financially literate. Until next time, bye.